Hi everybody, I'm Frank O'Brien and welcome to robertfranciswine.ie. Today, in the first of a wine series that I'm doing on Lidl wines, I'm tasting a Rioja. Rioja, for those of you who aren't familiar, is probably the biggest red wine that comes out of Spain, and it's normally made with the Tempranillo grape. Tempranillo being the noble grape of Spain, and it really offers great aromatics, nice red fruits, and there's normally a nice creaminess from oak. Rioja is really big on oak, particularly American oak. French oak is becoming more and more common, but predominantly American oak. So today I'm tasting the Rioja Saxa Luquuntur 2, which is the 2005 vintage from Lidl. This retails for $15.99. Lidl stores nationwide. I have the white page here for Matt and Mike and CuriousWines.ie, so they can certainly see the colour better. So we're going to have a look at this wine. Lidl have a master of wine, Richard Banfield, who tastes and scores their wine. He has scored this wine 89 points. So it'll be interesting to see how my palate compares to Richard's and whether I like it as much as he did, because 89 is a pretty big score. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So this Rioja is from the 2005 vintage. 2005 is a really solid vintage, predominantly just all across Europe, Bordeaux, Burgundy, the Rhone Valley, Spain, Italy, everywhere. 2005 was a really solid vintage. So expecting big things from this. This is actually a blend of Tempranillo and Garnacha, and it spends between 9 and 12 months in French oak and American oak, sorry. So let's have a look at it. Nice colour straight off the bat here. Got a nice kind of purple cherry red colour to the wine. I'm tasting again in the stemless glasses, so let's see how we get on. And there's pretty solid aromatics to this wine actually. There's some nice red fruit. There's some nice pepper spice as well, which is nice. And there's a nice kind of, smells kind of medium bodied on the nose, medium to full maybe. It's not a huge over the top Rioja, but there's a nice amount of fruit here. This is definitely not an oak. I was going to go oak monster there for all the Gary V fans, but yeah, it's in balance. There is some oak, but it's not over the top. Okay, so Richard Banfield scored at 89 points. So I was expecting really big things from this wine. This actually is one of the highest scoring wines that Lidl sell, and at $15.99, that's a pretty, that's a good solid price for a bottle of wine. So you'd be expecting big things. Unfortunately for me, on the palate, this just does not deliver to the level that I expected it. It's a solid Rioja, but it's not an earth-shatteringly good, and I don't think it's an 89-point Rioja at all. I think there's some bitterness to the fruit. I think there's some sourness to the fruit, which isn't sourness in a good way, like in an Italian red. And I think that this is actually drinking at its best. Now, I know the back of the bottle here says, or the label that came with it says that this is good till 2020. I really don't believe that at all. I think that if this sees 2010, that would be the height of it. I think there is some nice red fruits on the palate. There is some spice. There might be a touch of some dark chocolate in the background as well. But there's this bitterness on the finish for me that totally overrides everything else. So at $15.99, it's a bit pricey. I'd be going 86 plus at a push. So perhaps a little bit disappointing and not the best start, to be honest, on the Lidl wines. So after that disappointment, we'll see you next time on robertfranciswine.ie.